Because this reaction mentions CO2 forming, that's something I know how to write a chemical reaction for. So I'm going to, right off the bat, write the chemical reaction of CO2 forming, calculate its delta H reaction, its heat of reaction. Forming means that's what I'm making. It's going to be made from its pure elements. Oxygen's a diatomic, nothing to balance here. When I go to do products minus reactants on this, both of these are pure elements, so they have a value of 0. CO2 has a value of negative 393.5. So my heat of reaction, products minus reactants. My heat of reaction, therefore, is negative 393.5. Now going back to the question, they want the heat absorbed or released for 10 grams of the CO2. This heat of reaction is the heat per mole, but specifically it would be for 1 mole of CO2. 10 grams of CO2 is not 1 mole, so a proportion is going to help me scale it. The 10 grams of CO2 equals moles times the molecular weight of CO2. So I can find my moles of CO2 to be 0.227. Setting up my proportion, the heat of the reaction is the kilojoules for 1 mole of CO2. I want to find the heat, and it will be, because the heat of reaction was negative, the heat is going to be released. I can find the heat released for 0.227 moles of CO2. Multiplying to solve for x, I get 89.43 kilojoules released.